Hey YouTube, I see that unfortunately my most recent videos are not getting any traction, including the one that's about 3 hours long. That is so unfortunate. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I don't know if anyone would even see this, but it is so interesting how I said that I believe that the United States government is participatory in human trafficking. And I did not say I knew that as prophecy or something like that. I just said I believe very much so that the United States government is very much participatory in human trafficking. That was about 1 or 2 years ago, I think. Okay, so now it's so odd that DOGE seemed to uncover such activity inadvertently. That went over 99.9% of Americans' heads and globally, except for possibly those who may be allegedly victims. Not too long ago, approximately between 5 and 15 years ago, it may have been even more recent than that, like 4 years ago or something, because I have a really great memory, but I don't remember exactly when this happened. There was a huge news event that was, I believe, spread globally. There was supposed documented evidence of a rape in the Middle Eastern part of the world. I don't know exactly when that was. It was about, I think it included about 20 to maybe 60 men. And they alleged, these Middle Eastern men alleged, and the videotape actually showed military officials proceeding to sodomize and rape men who had no clothes on and who were blindfolded and who were nude from, I believe, the waist down. And I was so disappointed because I don't know whether this is true or not, but the narrative was entirely rejected, especially by the American church. Especially by the American church, the narrative was rejected, and I remember feeling so disappointed because almost as soon as it came out, some ministers that, at least one minister that I was consuming his ministry and being blessed by it, by the way, he had mentioned, and his wife especially had mentioned, how this is all absurd and that there is no evidence that this ever took place, even though it was a video that all of the world saw, including myself. And while the actual rape was blurred out, you could see that whether it was AI generated, which supposedly didn't exist at that time, or whether somehow old-fashioned media techniques in order to alter video or even create non-existent video was used, nonetheless, whether it was real or fake, the video totally portrayed U.S. military officials raping, sodomizing Middle Eastern men. So as soon as that happened, they came and they were like, this is silly, this is ridiculous, this is a smear campaign, the whole purpose is to embarrass the United States. Now, the very same political party, which is so poetically interesting, the same political party that denounced this without, I don't know if it was even an investigation. I know it was too soon for there to be an investigation, because it was like, I think days later, that his wife and himself said that this was silly, it was completely fabricated, which it may have been. Nonetheless, now DOGE exists. And DOGE supposedly, and I will not pretend to know more than what I do in order to produce a video that is biased, okay? Just in case. I mean, clearly, I'm biased to the Bible, but I will not lie, okay? There's nothing credible about that. And if it's false, it's false. And actually, if it's false, that's good. Why would I want to believe that someone had been harmed or raped, okay? Which is a very serious harm, especially on a mass scale, okay? So it is really politically interesting that DOGE uncovered, I think, the existence of U.S. presence in what may be considered conservative countries, establishing, possibly even providing the transportation and definitely the fiduciary power for transsexual, alternative lifestyle, sodomy, etc., to the tune of billions of dollars in more than one country, which is so interesting because would that not lend itself to this past allegation that was made many years ago being true? And then who would have been responsible to conduct such an investigation, and why would they not have been held accountable if indeed that allegation was indeed true? And then why was the American people led to believe that this was a false narrative and that this was fake video and a smear campaign against America's military when it is true? So my question to you is, what do you think? So DOGE has, in fact, whether that allegation that was made many years ago and the whole world denied it as false in a smear campaign to embarrass and humiliate the American military, DOGE has found, to the tune of billions of dollars, possible fiduciary power being used by the American United States government to fund what could be racketeering and human trafficking in other nations. It's no doubt, if these nations are considered, at least some of them, to be conservative, what happened to get them to want to have sodomy, homosexuality, lesbianism, alternative lifestyles, drag shows and stuff? And then was money made, transportation provided, and how did that all work out? So, and who was invited to the drag shows? Who benefited from the drag shows, the sex changes, etc.? Where did the money go when it did arrive there? And and did the governments and did the United States make any money back from such ventures, or was it purely a charitable thing to possibly racketeer and put American fiduciary power to such ventures in possibly very conservative countries that all of a sudden are no longer conservative? Like me, for example, if you came to my house and all of a sudden you threw a lesbian or a transsexual drag show that is completely consensual to me, even though it goes against everything I believe in. So what happened, Americans? Bye.